Good day, ladies and gents. My name is Helzo and welcome to Discuss Things. I am terribly sorry. No, I'm not. About the delay in the videos. I am still working on my Supernatural series review. However, it is going a bit slow because I'm constantly trying to do something new or exciting or just procrastinating on my chair after a tough day of work. And I didn't actually think I would be putting out some videos this or even the next week. However, Facebook, the gracious god of juicy stories for me, has put out something and it pasted it, plastered it all over my newsfeed. And this is a article by the gamer, ladies and gents, with the same, like, I don't even know how to call this, with the same type of articles that I actually expected to come out even sooner, even quicker after the announcement of the next Witcher game. Probably it came a little bit late, 18 hours ago, so I'll pass it as quick enough. But let's get to it. The Witcher 4 needs to have women with more than one body type. Yes, that's the main issue. That's what kept the games, the Witcher games, the previous Witcher games, at such a low level. They were never truly recognized as great games, never won Game of the Year award, never won hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other awards, never became one of the most played and the best-selling game of all time, especially The Witcher 3. It was so hated because it didn't have women of a specific body type that were included. Oh my god, how did we even go without this? How? How, I ask you? Gone are the days of the sexy women. Anyways, enough fooling around. Let's just dive into this news article by Jade King. Out of respect, I will not click on the name and not see if it's a girl, a boy, or something other than from the 76,000 genders or whatever. So, let's see. The Witcher 4 is coming. Yes, it is. Sorry, I meant that initial confirmation of the next saga in the Witcher franchise is coming. Let's not get carried away with attaching numerical quantifiers to our video games now. What? I mean, why? What is, even right from the start, what does that have to do with anything? It's the 4 game, so it's Witcher 4 technically. Anyways, let's dive a little bit downwards. I want to keep to the really juicy stuff. So yeah, whether The Witcher 4, I'm sorry, I can't help it, follows Ciri on a bespoke adventure or seeks to depict an entirely new world and cast of characters, I hope it takes a step to address its aggressively heteronormative relationship with women. Oh boy. Ever since the first game, female characters in the series have often been seen as sexual objects, eventual conquests for Geralt to pursue that will result in a sex scene that feels very vintage BioWare. Good job, you followed through on the quest line. Now it's time for some titties. Well, how should I put it? You're wrong. You're so very wrong. First of all, some of the main characters, even the main character, the one that it's all been about in Witcher 3 and throughout the books and throughout even the first games in some degree, is Ciri. A beautiful woman, a coming of age, teen, to adult, that becomes stronger. It's a very complex character. And you have so many other female characters that are so prevalent that they're actually, aside from Geralt, they are the main characters in the books, in the games, in everything. And yes, they are sexually attractive. Yes, they are. No, nobody can argue with that. However, it's not about that. Or when it's about that, it's about how they use it as an advantage in certain situations. And it's never only about the sexual attraction, or even less so them being just a sexual object. So just from here, you're absolutely and completely wrong. But let's go deeper. Let's go to the next paragraph. Now, I love titties. We all do. Don't get me wrong, but The Witcher has always felt like it was designed by white men with a controversial idea of attraction. And how that will appeal to a certain demographic. So, let's just deconstruct a little bit. Oh, this is going to be a long ass video. First of all, white men are not the exclusive people when it comes to titties or sexy girls. I mean, just look at, let's say, half of the Japanese video games. Half, just half of the hundreds and thousands of Japanese game, big budget, low budget, whatever. And what? Sorry, I probably misspoke. Conventional idea of attraction. So what's wrong with conventional? Conventional idea of attraction means that you like certain things. That a majority of people are attracted to. So this is conventional. Okay, so nothing wrong with that. It just means that the numbers are on your side. So when we talk about the video game and trying to please as many people as possible, you always go with more or less the conventional attractions. Okay, let's move to the next sentence. Actually, that's great, because we just talked about how women are objectified in these games, and now we've gone to this. It's true that Triss and Yennefer are both excellent and empowering characters in their own right, and have fascinating stories to tell throughout the entire trilogy. Well, you're just contradicting yourself, because these are two of the main characters that basically are the personification of the gender, if you want to put it like this. They're the personification of that gender in the game. Their personalities are so different too, offering varied perspectives on the conflicts engulfing this fantasy world, and why coming together with Geralt to form an uneasy alliance is the best way forward. Yes, and you see the dynamic, the power dynamic, especially between Geralt and Yennefer, especially when you clash, when you have conversations, arguments, fights. You just see how well developed as a personality those characters are. Let's move to another topic. I'm not gonna just dive into the whole every sentence on the way. However, there are key points that will help you understand where I'm coming from and what this shit actually is. So, there is nothing wrong with romance or even sex in RPG, especially if it feels like a natural climax for a specific character arc or informs the overall narrative, which is what The Witcher is, especially with the Blood and Wine expansion, and especially the ending. Romantic partners in RPG are popular in games like this because we love growing close to characters, finding those who gel with what we find attractive in reality and cementing them as firm favorites. Yes, exactly. It's the relationships in the Witcher franchise are so well done, it's so complex, and move from one game to the next, and even have consequences. It's just so well and maturely done. It's why I was so close with Liara in Mass Effect or Emily in Stardew Valley. Now, to be fair, Mass Effect's relationships were very similar to those of The Witcher in terms of how they can progress and what can happen. So in my view, both these games did it right. While they might be virtual, relationships like this are real enough to form cultures outside of games themselves that live on in fanart, fanfics, and theories that show how much power shipping has. I don't know if the author read any fanfics or any Witcher groups on social media, but if you see the battles of who Geralt should be with, what should happen, who's the better one, who all the fan art and the fan fiction that is written and illustrated, you will not even attempt to write this article on a clear conscience, which is actually what I am doubting that you did with this one. But the Witcher feels juvenile at points, eager to throw a mandatory sex scene in front of us where the entire focus is on women who are framed in such an exhaustingly heteronormative way. They're not forced. It's not forced in any way. It happens actually very smoothly, apart from when you're in the brothel, but that's where you pay, and that's actually a thing that exists in the game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Here, let's talk about this one. After suffering from an attack, Ciri awakens in a village and is raised back to health by its inhabitants. Yes, this is a very cool, something of a side quest slash filler one. And they do go to a bath, and they strip the other women, especially the old woman. There's an old woman and she strips, and that actually kills your view of it, of the whole story. However, and Ciri, as being a shy and reserved character, she does not strip completely. You do have the option to leave the bandages on from her wounds, or just strip her, but she never strips completely unless your game is modded. Then you can view a lot of things that are not supposed to be there. It feels icky, and much like Cyberpunk 2077, CDPR views the sheer presence of nudity and sex as mark of its own maturity. Yes, they do, because this is nothing to be ashamed of. This is acceptance. This is normalizing it, and basically removing the viewer from just playing the game for the sexual scenes, like a lot of games before that did, and some of them explicitly made for that. Let's go a little bit lower. This is a long ass article, and I don't wanna go through it all because it will be a 1 hour video. Let's just skip to this, because here they're talking about Karen meds, how they're shagging rabbits, and the game is horny. And I want to just mention that if you have read the books, you'll see a lot of reference to a lot of, let's say, fantasy characters, and the sheer atmosphere of the whole books is a little bit on the nose at sometimes, and it's very well done, and it's very easy to feel it, and it's enjoyable when it happens. The author also talks about how they don't think that Triss or Yennefer or Ciri would feel comfortable in their clothes, and I want to just point out this picture here as being, I don't know, I don't find anything uncomfortable. This is something that fumbles upwards. The corset is not too tight, at least from what is shown. You have loose skirt-like dresses, so basically it's pretty easy to move in that. I think I haven't tried such clothes, but yeah, and Ciri as well. But let's skip to a little bit on the end. The Witcher 4, or whatever that it ends up being called, needs to update its fantasy world to reflect a more diverse and inclusive populace. So let's just try to guess what they're trying to say. Overweight, armpit hair, lazy eye or something. That trans, of course, you cannot skip the trans people who should be your main object of attraction, right? I am right. Even if they don't say it, I know that's what they mean, because that's what they always mean. They're just trying to push it, push it, push it, and just say, oh no, we didn't say that. But yes, it did. And you get angry when something like this doesn't happen. Women can be beautiful whether they're short, tall, slim, fat, or anywhere in between. Again, we're going to the convention, to what the masses want, to what most of the fans and basically the 95% of the fans would like. This goes for women and men. You don't want to see Geralt as a 200 kilograms fat idiot who just fumbles around like a barrel towards monsters, right? You see him as a sexy, muscular, toned, manly guy who's big, who is well formed, and this is what women would like, or some men. And it's nothing wrong with that, because you have someone who has the presence, especially the presence of what they do. They're a witcher. Their life is on the road, on the path. They fight monsters. They endure strenuous physical activities on a daily basis. And when we talk about sorcerers and women in the world of The Witcher, you have to be beautiful. Yes, you have to be beautiful. It's those times, and when you are beautiful, and especially if you're a sorceress, you can make yourself look beautiful. Especially Yennefer, who you even saw in the show, went through a transformation, and you use that beauty, that ungodly beauty that is more beautiful than anything else in the world. You use it to your advantage, whether in court, in battle, with wizards, with other men, to gain political power. And there is nothing wrong with that, because this is a weapon that you have mastered to use, and this is how you use your abilities, your magical abilities, to better yourself and to basically infiltrate everything around you, and to make it to your liking, and to control the situation. That's one thing that is very beautiful, and it's very well discovered. You're not just beautiful because you're beautiful. You're not just this sexual object. You are a powerful, mega influential, and mega smart sorceress, and you control the situation. Wherever you go, you have influence because of that beauty, and because of your mind, because of your cunningness, because of your intellect. That's the beauty, and it's not reserved only for sorcerers. There are a lot of other characters that do it as well, in certain degrees and in certain ways. And they're queens, they're princesses, they're duchess. Again, play the games, read the books, you'll see what I mean. And now the last paragraph is my favorite one. I know this article is going to have me labeled as a founding member of the woke brigade, demanding that our favorite games be filled with mandatory diversity in order to stop me crying myself to sleep. But it doesn't even feel like a demand. Yes, it does. It feels like what games should strive to be, and the more we refuse to acknowledge that, the more tiresome this medium becomes. For who? For you? You're 1% of the people, and you're not even actual fan, an actual fan community. You're not. You only care about these things in the game. You never look at the game. You never look at a game for the game, and you just look for something to whine about, to not find appeasing, so you can be loud, be crying about, be screeching your lungs out. It happened with Diablo 2 Resurrected. It happened with a lot of different games. It happened with Overwatch, if you remember. The Tracer scene, that I can't believe it happened still. So you're not the true fans. You are not the true fans. You are a very, very small, however very vocal. Hopefully those voices die out, or at least get quieter. You're just that. very small but very vocal, and apparently not very organized or intelligent. I don't know which one is it, but you're only focused on singular things that you do not like. You never look at the big picture, you never look at the context. You only see something that is conventionally beautiful, and because you are not, probably, you don't agree with it. You want people to be like you, to dislike what you dislike, and you cannot accept anything different. You are the istophobes of this world, not us. It's you. Woke people like you. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm never gonna stop repeating it. Anyways, I will link this article so you can read the whole of it if you want to, and just build your own opinion. Later on today, I will be on Gary G Reviews channel, and we'll have a stream on this exact article, and we'll talk in extent about everything that it says, every hidden thing. So you can join me. I will link Gary G's Reviews channel on my description, and you can join us in a few hours. So that's it for me for now, and peace out. Well, that is all from me at this point. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and ring the bell for any future videos notifications. If you want to, you can leave a comment, tell me your opinion on what you think about the topic I just presented, and any other topics that you might want to see around. I'll see you, and stay fresh.